From Keene in the Shire, the Liberty Media capital of the world, this is Darrell W. Perry, host of FPP Radio News for Sunday, February 22nd, 2015. Silver is trading at $16.25 per ounce. Gold is valued at $1,202 per ounce. And according to BitcoinAverage.com, the average price of Bitcoin is $246. Antiwar.com reports Ukraine's military abandonment of Debaltseve continues to pay dividends for the ceasefire, which is again holding, and prisoner exchanges yesterday add to hopes that the deal will hold. Not that there hasn't been any fighting in the past couple of days, as some shelling has been reported against the rebel capital of Donetsk, though it is minor compared to the fighting before the ceasefire began a week ago. The town of Novozovsk seems to be another potential site of tension, as Ukraine is accusing the rebels of building up on the outskirts and are themselves building up at the town. Novozovsk would be the route through which the fighting would take place in Mariupol, a major port city that would likely be the rebels' next target if the ceasefire falls. It's only natural, as both sides continue to redeploy troops during the ceasefire, that they are both positioning their forces to maximize advantage for reacting if the ceasefire falls. Still, the momentum seems to be that the ceasefire is holding for now. For over 35 years, Robertson Roberts has been a trusted source for buying and selling your investment-grade precious metals. They also take Bitcoin for precious metal purchases and permanently removed the minimum purchase order for all orders paid in the digital currency. Call Robertson Roberts today for knowledgeable advice on investing and a forward-thinking approach to new technologies. 850-478-5270 or online at rrbi.co. Reuters reports the United States is considering slowing a planned withdrawal of U.S. troops from Afghanistan to ensure that progress sticks after more than a decade of war. Under the current plan, the United States will cut in half the number of troops in Afghanistan to just over 5,000 this year, gradually winding down to a normal U.S. embassy presence by the end of 2016. That schedule could now change, at least in part, according to new Defense Secretary Ash Carter on his first trip abroad since swearing in as the Pentagon chief on Tuesday, as the United States also rethinks the future of its counterterrorism mission in Afghanistan. His remarks set the stage for talks next month when the Afghan president is expected in Washington. Ghani said he expected to discuss U.S. troop numbers with Obama in the context of the larger partnership. FPP Radio News is brought to you by Coinbase. Coinbase is a simple and secure online Bitcoin wallet for sending, receiving, and storing Bitcoin. Coinbase also allows you to buy and sell Bitcoin using a bank account or use their tools to accept Bitcoin as a merchant. Opening a wallet is quick and easy, and for merchants, there are no transaction fees on the first $1 million worth of transactions. Get started at coinbase.fppradio.com. UPI reports several Republican governors are urging GOP congressional leaders to stand firm next week in opposing legislation funding the Department of Homeland Security if it does not overturn President Barack Obama's executive action on immigration. Governors in both parties meeting in Washington this weekend warned of economic and security concerns should Congress fail to resolve its latest budget standoff. The agency's $40 billion budget runs out February 26th, giving federal lawmakers only a few days to reach an agreement once they return from recess next week. Oklahoma Governor Mary Fallin said Homeland Security funding is very important not only to our nation, but to our individual states because of our military installations, especially at a time that there are so many threats around the world with the Islamic State and other terrorist groups. We hope that Congress will be able to find a resolution to get DHS funding passed, but we also know that there are concerns and questions about immigration and the president's powers. While some call for compromise, a handful of high-profile Republicans charged that stopping what they see as Obama's unconstitutional power grab may be as important as resolving the funding dispute. The Obama administration last week put on hold plans to shield more than 4 million immigrants living in the country from deportation after a federal judge in Texas temporarily blocked the effort the day the program was scheduled to begin. 26 states, led by Texas, filed suit in December, arguing that the president does not have the authority to allow groups of immigrants to legally stay and work in the United States. The White House is appealing the ruling. This has been FPP Radio News, online at fppradio.com.